You've been feeding them for months, maybe years. You refill the feeder during storms. You watch for the same cardinal every morning. You recognize the chickadee that always arrives first. And then one day, you try getting just a little closer, one slow step toward the window, barely breathing, and suddenly, every bird explodes into the trees. Gone, the feeder that was full of life seconds ago becomes completely silent. And honestly, it hurts more than most people expect. Because after everything you've done for them, they still seem afraid of you. But what if I told you something important? The birds in your yard are not rejecting you. They are misunderstanding you. Because birds do not see humans the way humans see themselves. You know yourself as the person feeding them, protecting them, caring about them. But birds cannot understand your intentions. All they see is a large creature with forward-facing eyes, walking directly toward them, and in nature. That usually means danger, predator. That's the first thing most bird lovers never realize. When humans approach feeders, they accidentally move exactly like hunters. Straight lines, direct staring, purposeful movement. And birds have spent millions of years surviving by reacting instantly to those signals. Welcome to The Birds Know. Subscribe before you leave. Researchers studying bird behavior discovered birds constantly calculate something called flight initiation distance, the exact moment they decide whether to flee. Every bird at your feeder has an invisible safety boundary around itself. The second you cross it, its brain rapidly calculates, is this dangerous? And should I escape now? That's why even slow movement can suddenly send birds flying. It isn't personal. It's survival biology working perfectly. And honestly, once people understand this, they stop feeling rejected by birds. Because birds are not saying, we dislike you. They're saying, we don't fully understand you yet. And that's completely different. But here's where things become fascinating. Most humans accidentally speak the language of predators every single day. Think about how you approach your feeder. You walk directly toward it. You stare at the birds. You move with intention. Sometimes you even speed up slightly, trying not to scare them. Ironically, that often makes it worse, because birds are unbelievably sensitive to eye direction. Even tiny gaze changes matter. Direct staring feels threatening in the animal world. That's why experienced bird photographers often avoid direct eye contact while approaching slowly. They move sideways, indirectly, calmly, trying not to trigger predator signals. And honestly, this next part changed everything for me. Birds do not build trust emotionally the way humans do. Trust to a bird is prediction. Birds trust what becomes predictable. That's why city birds often tolerate humans more closely than birds deep in forests. Not because they are friendlier, but because humans in those places constantly pass by without harming them. The bird's brain slowly reclassifies humans from possible predator to mostly harmless background object. And surprisingly, that same thing can happen in your backyard too, but only if you stop behaving unpredictably. Birds love patterns. Their survival depends on predicting what happens next. They know when sunlight hits the feeder, where cats appear, when certain humans come outside, which trees feel safest. And if your behavior changes constantly, you become chaos. Different clothes, different times, different movement, different energy. Chaos feels dangerous to birds. So one of the most powerful things you can do is become boring. Same door, same time, same slow walk, same chair, same calm routine, every day. At first it sounds ridiculous, but it works because birds slowly stop needing to analyze you constantly. You become predictable, and predictable feels safer. Many bird lovers notice that after 1 or 2 weeks of identical calm routines, the birds slowly stop flying away as quickly. Not because they suddenly love humans, because the pattern became familiar enough to solve. And honestly, that idea changes everything. Birds are not asking, do I like this person? They are asking, can I safely predict this person? But something even more surprising is happening while all of this unfolds. The birds are already learning your voice. Many bird species can recognize individual human voices over time, especially intelligent birds like crows, chickadees, blue jays, and mockingbirds, which means your voice slowly becomes part of your identity in their environment. Some people quietly hum while filling feeders. Others softly talk to themselves, not to the birds, just creating calm, repetitive sound patterns. And eventually, those sounds begin meaning something specific. The safe human is here again. One woman noticed her backyard chickadees stopped flying away whenever they heard her quietly singing before she even appeared outside. The birds had already recognized her voice. And finally, there's something even more incredible. Some birds may already recognize your face. Researchers studying crows discovered crows can remember specific human faces for years, in some cases, over a decade, which means the birds in your yard may already know your face, your voice, your daily routine, far more than most people realize. You are not invisible to them. The real question is, what have you been teaching them every time they see you? Tomorrow morning, try something different. Go outside quietly. Same time, same slow movement. Look slightly away instead of directly at them. Sit down calmly, and simply exist peacefully in the same space. Do not force closeness. Let the birds decide what happens next. Because trust with birds is not forced. It is slowly calculated, observed quietly over time. And one day, a bird that once fled instantly from your presence may suddenly remain on the feeder while you stand nearby. And many viewers always ask for best healthy backyard birds feed, so I added the best seed mix in description and pin comment. And honestly, these tiny moments feel strangely emotional because something wild finally decided you are probably safe. Tell me honestly, have you ever had a bird stop flying away from you? And what species was it? I read every comment.